Put yourself in position to win big on Kentucky Derby Day with the power of daily racing form. Visit shop.drf.com and get past performances, expert picks, betting strategies, clock reports, and more. Again, that's shop.drf.com. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at Kentucky Derby Contender Sun Thunder from the Ken McPeek stable. Brian Hernandez Jr. will have the mount for the Kentucky Derby. Let's take a closer look at Sun Thunder. And if you like horses that might have a puncher's chance from the back of the pack, give them a fast pace, let them come running late, maybe Sun Thunder is the horse for you. He'll go into the Derby with one of the highest, if not the highest, time form U.S. late pace figure.
That is his running style. They like to sort of take a hold of this horse early, get him back off the pace, and then, sort of let him make a run through the stretch of his races. It's been, I'll say it's been sort of mildly effective so far, Dan. I mean, personally, I'm not finding tons of excuses for this horse's recent losses. Maybe in the Louisiana Derby 2 starts back, he just sort of got blocked around that final turn, couldn't really improve his position, and then didn't really have, a fair chance to make up ground into that slow pace. But his other surrounding races in graded stakes company, I feel like those trips, for the most part, worked out for him, Dan. He wasn't really a factor.
I think that's a very fair point. We still have yet to learn how good this horse is. I think he had a significant excuse in the Louisiana Derby. Not only the traffic you mentioned, but it was just a race with no pace, and King's Barnes took them gate to wire. But in his prior start, the Risen Star, it was a different story. The pace looked solid. He came with a run. He just missed. The rail was there for him that day. And then last time out in the Bluegrass, he was just beaten by Tapit Trice, who might be slightly better than he is at this point. He's yet to Beyer 90 on the Beyer speed figure scale, so he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, he feels like one of those horses who's going to need a real setup in the Kentucky Derby and then a clean run into it. And so we'll see if he can take advantage of that kind of a situation, because so far, based on what he's done, he's fine, but he hasn't run a race so far anyway that really makes him one of the major contenders on the first Saturday in May. I mean, even the Bluegrass last time, there was nothing wrong with that performance, and he was sort of briefly behind horses around the final turn, but to me, he was clear with plenty of time in that race, and he just never really threatened the 1-2 finishes in there. And then, of course, he couldn't get third.
He has a very strong pedigree, however. He's by the sensational stallion Into Mischief. This horse sold for $400,000 as a weanling, was a $495,000 buyback as a yearling. The second dam, Merrifield, won the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, and also the Ballerina. So there's a lot of speed on the bottom of this pedigree, Micah. Are you a little concerned that he's not going to be able to sustain his rally going 1.25 miles?
Yeah, I'm very concerned about that, because as far as I can tell, in each of his last 3 starts, the Southwest, when they stretched him out to 1.16 miles at Oakland on a sloppy track, he bobbled at the start. I guess I won't be too hard on him for that one, but the other races, he's got that kind of one-paced finish, which to me isn't really going to help him in a race like the Kentucky Derby. His only win going 1 mile when he broke his maiden at Oakland. I thought he ran well that day, but he hasn't really improved all that much since they've gone longer.
And of course, that race came with Lasix. He'll be running without it in the Kentucky Derby. Sun Thunder is yet to Beyer 90, but he is a 1-run closer. If he gets the right pace setup, if he gets the right trip, maybe he kicks on late and spices things up at a big number.